So we've been working on the next step here. We're putting some fairing compound in, trying to level everything off. Working on the transom. We're starting on this first. We just did some kind of rough fill on the transom. It's pretty wobbly, pretty out of shape. We filled in some of the heavy spots, but I can still feel that there's definitely some low spots that need to be filled. You can see here too that I've used a real slight blue hardener on this, a little bit of mix of white and blue hardener, just so I have a guide coat so I can see the original gel coat, and then I can see the color of the fairing compound. That way it gives me an idea of where the low spots are and what I need to fill. It just helps out a little bit with that little tint of color in there. So let's take a break real quick. We're gonna do a shameless plug. This is the Vibor boat dolly cart. I got this thing. There's a link down below. I get a little commission on this. It helps pay for the project. But I've got one of these. I finally got it. I've had boats, trailers, my whole life. And since I started working on this project, I needed something to where I can pull this boat in and out of the garage simply, easily, to work on it. I mean, this thing works so good. If you're working on a project, if you've got a boat, if you've got a little RV, this is something, go ahead and buy it. I wish I'd have bought something like this 20 years ago. It just makes the project so much easier. So yeah, the Vibor boat dolly. Let's get back into the project. So some of you out there have asked what kind of a fairing compound I'm using. This is what the guy at the fiberglass shop recommended for me. So that is the resin that I'm using.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We already started some fairing compound on this, just some rough stuff. We're gonna go ahead and continue to fill in. We've got some low spots that we know of. Let's fill those in. We know where they're at.
All right, so I pretty much got this transom on this boat faired out. Run into some problems with the fairing compound. I knew there was going to be issues with it, and the issues were a little bit worse than I thought, and we're going to resolve those issues as we continue on. I say the back is faired out. When I spray gel coat on that, that's going to be smooth as glass. But here's the issue we're dealing with. And I knew this was going to happen, but any polyester resin or fairing compound, you need to inhibit the oxygen, the air from hitting it, or it won't cure. So if we look here on the surface of this, it's real hard to see, but the surface is tacky. This is fairing compound. You see that? It just peels right up. Now it's just that outer layer that has that tacky. And you can sand through that, and then you'll hit that hard fairing compound. Same thing's going to happen with polyester resin. But the problem with this is it's just gumming up my sandpaper. Having a real hard time with it. Another issue we have with this, I mean, we can sand that off and we'll run through a lot of sandpaper, but we'll get down to hard fairing compound. But the problem is when you do a thin layer, you don't have enough fairing compound to get down to a hard layer. So we're gonna have to clean this off. We're gonna kind of have to start over. And I did a little research, and what we're gonna be using here is polyvinyl alcohol. This is a release agent for gel coat. There's going to be a link down below if you guys want to get that on Amazon. I get a little commission on that, and it helps keep the videos going and funds my project. But we're going to use it as a air oxygen inhibitor to form a nice layer over top of the fairing compound. It's my first time doing this. We're going to experiment with this, see how it works. That will be in the next video. If anyone has any advice, please leave a message below. I know a lot of you are going to mention a polyester fairing compound below the water line. Tell me what you think. This is what I'm doing. I talked to the guy at the fiberglass shop, and he said it should be fine because it's not setting in the water. We're just going to be taking this out, running the boat, coming home. Let me know what you guys think, and you know, once this project's finished, we'll do some update videos to let you know if we're having any problems with it. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Stick around for our next episode. It's going to be a little bit, it's real hot down here in Florida, but I know a lot of you guys were reaching out to me asking how the project was coming. It's coming. It's coming real slow, but it's coming. We're still working on it. Got a lot of work to do. So from Stonebrook Adventure, until next time, bloop.